Today, I will explore the soul deep rewards and honest struggles of growing your own food. From seed to harvest, discover how gardening not only nourishes the body, but anchors the spirit and uplifts beauty from within. So, the choice to grow your own food often begins with more than just a desire for fresh produce. It springs from a deeper longing to reconnect with nature, with nourishment, and with oneself. In a world that encourages speed, productivity, and convenience, planting a seed becomes an intentional act of slowing down. It's a choice to observe, to tend, and to wait. And this sacred beginning mirrors many spiritual practices, asking for patience and presence and devotion. And when you kneel in the soil, hands coated in earth, you're not just planting a carrot or a tomato, you're cultivating a moment of mindfulness. Gardening invites you to listen, whether it's to bird song, to rustling leaves, to the gentle hum of bees. This sensory harmony grounds you, pulling away from screens and schedules in the pulse of the planet. There's something divinely humbling about participating in nature's rhythm, where everything has its own season and growth happens in its own time. Setting intentions at the start of your gardening journey shapes its energy. Are you growing for sustenance, or for beauty, or for ritual? Perhaps you dream of herbal teas brewed from your own mint, or a crisp salad glowing with your own lettuce and radish. These hopes become meditative touchstones, each plant a reflection of personal healing or purpose, and some may even see parallels between their inner life and the stages of a seed, from dormancy to sprouting, from blossom to yield. Gardening also offers gentle lessons in surrender. You prepare, you plant, and you nurture, but much remains out of your control. The weather, pests, timing, these forces remind us to release expectations. This is where gardening overlaps with spiritual growth. We learn to accept what is, adapt, and trust. In this light, every act of weeding becomes a metaphor for releasing what no longer serves us, making space for more fruitful growth. And for those seeking a more balanced path, gardening provides a living anchor. It brings ritual into the everyday. Each task, whether it's watering, pruning, harvesting, becomes a small ceremony. And these routines soothe the mind, strengthen your bond with the earth, and offer a break from the noise of modern life. Whether your garden is sprawling or potted on a balcony, it holds power to nurture not just your body, but also your spirit. And from this grounded space, a truly radiant journey begins. So while the idea of harvesting your own juicy tomatoes or crisp kale is delightful, the journey from seed to salad bowl is often riddled with challenges. Growing your own food demands patience and resilience and a sense of humor. The truth is, nature doesn't always play along, and the soil, quite literally, doesn't always cooperate. So let's begin with the foundation of soil. Good soil is alive. It's a bustling microcosm of organisms and nutrients and organic matter. Yet many beginners discover their soil is either too sandy, too clay heavy, or entirely depleted. This calls for effort. It calls for composting and mulching and sometimes the back-breaking work of turning and amending earth. It's a lesson in humility. You can't force nature, but you can learn to work with her. Pests are another rite of passage, from snails munching on lettuce to aphids swarming your bean. Your garden can suddenly feel like a battleground. It's disheartening to see weeks of care vanish overnight. Natural deterrents, companion planting, and organic sprays can help, but sometimes a gardener can simply accept loss and try again. This cycle cultivates perseverance, encouraging you to adapt rather than abandon your path. The weather throws its own unpredictable tantrums. An seasonal drought or frost can undo months of planning. And for those of us on a balanced journey, these setbacks become spiritual nudges. They challenge us to surrender, to find peace in imperfection. Much like life, the garden won't always reflect our effort, but it will also always reflect truth. And then there's time. Modern life doesn't easily accommodate slow, seasonal work. Between jobs and family and self-care, the idea of daily gardening might feel impossible. And yet therein lies the beauty. It asks you to curve out sacred minutes. Even 10 minutes with your plants can be a salve for stress. It becomes a form of self-nurture, even when it's difficult. Physical strain is another barrier, especially if mobility is limited. So raised beds and container gardens and vertical setups can help make gardening accessible. And the key is to meet yourself where you are. Growing food isn't about perfection, it's about participation. Your garden doesn't need to be flawless to be fulfilling. Ultimately, every blight, drought, or chewed leaf deepens your connection to the earth. And these struggles don't just teach you about plants, they teach you about persistence and compassion and the rewards of not giving up. The soil may challenge you, but it also offers grounding in the truest sense. There's a special kind of magic that happens when you eat something you've grown yourself. It's not just about freshness or flavour, though homegrown food is often bursting with both. It's about the energy it carries, the care and the love and the intention you've poured into your garden transform into nourishment that supports more than your physical health. It becomes a ritual of self-love, a glowing tribute to your body and well-being. From a health perspective, growing your own food allows you to control what goes into your meals. No pesticides, no preservatives, no chemicals, just natural, living food straight from soil to plate. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in iron and antioxidants, support circulation and cellular repair. Tomatoes offer a juicy dose of lycopene for heart and skin health. Even humble herbs like parsley or mint bring their cleansing, calming properties. And with every bite, you're feeding not just hunger, but vitality. Homegrown food also supports natural beauty. A balanced diet, rich in plant-based nutrients, reflects in clearer skin, shinier hair, and stronger nails. Carrots loaded with beta-carotene promote a natural glow. Cucumbers hydrate from the inside out. And this isn't about vanity, it's about radiance, the kind that comes from being in sync with nature and fueling your body with living goodness. But nourishment goes deeper. Growing food invites you into a deeper awareness of what your body truly needs. You start tuning into the seasons, noticing what feels good in summer versus winter, what uplifts and what grounds you. This is intuitive eating in its most natural form, free from diet culture and full of connection. You begin to understand your cravings as cues, not shameful indulgences. A fresh strawberry in June becomes a moment of celebration, a sweet alignment with the earth's abundance. On the spiritual level, there's something profoundly affirming about feeding yourself with food you've grown. It reminds you of your ability to provide, to sustain, and to flourish. Your garden becomes a mirror, reflecting the nourishment you're also offering your inner world. This sacred exchange fosters gratitude. Every harvest, no matter how small, becomes a blessing. It's a reminder that with care and presence, we can create wellness and beauty and balance, one seed at a time. And in growing your own food, you're not just nourishing your body, you're feeding your glow, inside and out. One of the most profound gifts of growing your own food is the reminder that life moves in cycles. From the moment you press a seed into soil to the day you compost its remnants, you are immersed in a sacred rhythm. It's a rhythm that mirrors your own life, its beginnings, its growth, its losses, and its transformations. This quiet awareness, born in the garden, can shape how you move through the world. The seasons themselves become spiritual guides. Spring offers renewal, a time for fresh starts and fresh soil. Summer is for flourishing, sunlit days that bring colour and abundance. Autumn invites us to harvest and reflect. Winter brings rest, a necessary stillness where energy withdraws but never disappears. And in gardening, you don't just witness these seasons, you live them. They teach us acceptance, patience, and reverence for timing. Through this cycle, you begin to see death differently. A wilted plant, a crop that didn't survive, isn't a failure. It's part of the dance. That compost becomes food for next year's season's growth. And in this way, nothing is wasted. And spiritually, this reminds us that our experiences, even the difficult ones, enrich the soil of our lives. What we release becomes nourishment for what comes next. There's a peace that comes with this understanding. No longer rushing to outcomes, you begin to trust the process. Gardening becomes less about control and more about collaboration with nature, with spirit, and with yourself. You learn to listen, and when to water, and when to wait, and when to trim, and when to allow wildness. This balance is wisdom in action, a slow unfolding that brings deep calm. Time in the garden also becomes a form of meditation. The repetitive tasks such as pulling weeds, planting rows, harvesting beans, quiet the mind. And in these moments, your breath slows, your thoughts soften. It's in these pauses that insight often arrives, gently and without demand. You reconnect with a deeper part of yourself, one that knows how to be still, and how to trust, and how to grow. The sacred cycle of the garden is also the sacred cycle of you. Each bloom and fall reflects your own evolving journey. You begin to honor the stages of your path, not just the blossoming moment, but the resting and the waiting and the letting go. And in this rhythm, you find the heart of balance. And as your garden grows, so too does your understanding of what it means to live a balanced life. It becomes clear that the real harvest isn't just the food you place on your table, but the deeper transformation that happens within you. This is where gardening truly aligns with the essence of the balanced path, bringing together nourishment and mindfulness and purpose and presence. A balanced harvest is about recognizing the value of the process, not just the result. There will be days when your garden flourishes and days when it falters. Some crops will thrive, others may not. But the joy lies in the act of showing up, in pulling on your gloves, stepping into the soil, and tending with care. These small rituals build a rhythm that grounds you amidst the noise of life. And over time, they become anchors, rooting you in intention. Incorporating gardening into your balanced path lifestyle doesn't require perfection or vast land. Even a few pots on a windowsill or a raised bed in a corner can yield abundance, not just in food, but in peace. Start small. Choose herbs that uplift your senses or vegetables you love to eat. Let the act of growing become part of your self-care, a conversation between your hands and the earth. Gardening also fosters a sense of agency and gratitude. And when you nurture your food from seed to plate, you appreciate its journey in a new way. Each bite carries a memory of morning dew, patient tending, and hard-won success. It's empowering to know that you can grow sustenance with your own effort and care. And that confidence filters into other areas of your life, reminding you of your ability to shape your own being. Spiritually, the garden becomes a sanctuary, a place where your thoughts slow, your energy softens, and your art opens. It's where you can release worries into the soil and absorb strength from the sun. It reminds you to celebrate small wins, a new sprout, the first blossom, the smell of basil on your fingertips. These are not just gardening moments, they are life moments. So whether you garden for food, for healing, or for peace, know that each effort contributes to a fuller, richer, more balanced life. Your garden doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. Let it reflect your journey. Imperfect, beautiful, and full of growth. This is your balanced harvest, and this is enough.